everybody. This is Carrie O'Donnell, Tarot Soul Writer, and I'm here with my partner, Cindy, and she's in charge of all things. She's in charge, as far as I'm concerned, she's in charge of the show. She's got it going from behind the scenes. So how are things going, Cindy, this week?
Good. There's so much to talk about. It's like, ooh, let's get on it. Some interesting things today, too. So some surprises at the end, but we'll see.
Yeah. I'm feeling, we were like saying behind the scenes, like, I'm ready today. I'm ready to get going, get into this energy. If you have your questions, please put them in all caps, and Cindy will star a variety of questions. So we have a good variety for this show. And just a few announcements. Again, my classes are open for the summer session. We just finished our spring session of Tarot Soul Writing classes. If you are interested to join our group, please go to my website, tarotsoulwriter.com, press book a class, and you will see all the topics that you can sign up for. I am booking for private readings in October. We have a few dates. If those get used up, I am more than willing to open up November. So just check it out, and I'd be happy to do a reading for you. And just on another note, next week we will not be doing Spilling the Tea live because I am going to take a week off. I just need to catch up with my life. And actually, I'm just hoping we all can do that at certain times. I do want to be a model for working hard, playing hard, and I think it's really important that we take some time out to get in touch with ourselves and our families and what we love to do in our lives. And next week is going to be one of those weeks for me. So, Cindy, do you have anything to add?
No, just ditto to that. Make sure to have some fun and re-energize. I think we're going to need to take this time to re-energize because we all know that the next half of the year might be a little eventful. So it's a recharge the batteries. Enjoy it. I think that's part of the message that we keep getting.
Absolutely.
But on that note, I'm jumping behind scenes and let's get going.
I'm ready to go. So let's go with your questions. I'm ready. All right. Blue Jean. Will Trump walk off the debate stage in a huff because it's going so badly for him? Now, I was talking about this when I had done the reading like months ago. I got that he might not show up. Like I just was getting energy like this isn't going to happen. Then last week we checked on the debate thing and I got things really up in the air. It was questionable. It's like people were trying to make decisions about this. Should this even happen? But I said straight up, some people said I am not committing to this question, but that's not true because I said I'm leaning toward no. Like he's something's going to happen or he's not going to finish this out or it's not going to happen at all. So I'm very interested to see how things are right now because I do feel like the energy was in flux with him, like a lot was in his control. So let's take a look. Will Trump walk off the debate stage? What's going to happen at this debate with Trump? All right, this is really interesting. I'm not getting him walking off, but it could happen. Look at this unstable energy that I'm getting. The Tower reversed. This is an interesting card because for me, it's as if he's not steady. It's under the situation. Like he's just not mentally steady. There are like little shakeups before. Is this really good? This is the uncertainty I'm picking up. Is this really going to happen? I feel like a lot of this energy is coming from the people who are trying to prepare him. And it's almost like they're setting the stage that he might not show up. It's very interesting. I almost get a mystery around this. Like, is this guy going to show up? This is what's really confusing me. I'm getting a woman here. And this woman seems to be urging him to do this, to get out there. There's something with this woman because the Magician card is here. So it's kind of like, let's make this happen. So I don't know who this woman is, but it's definitely the Queen of Cups. I'm wondering if it's Ivanka, but I don't know how much in communication they're in. But it's someone that he feels like he respects this person's opinion. And in some way, this kind of feminine energy is getting him to the point where he's like, I have to do this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to make this happen. So it's either someone on his team or it's somebody from the outside who kind of goads him into wanting to do this, right? So there's definite feminine energy. But this is where I say, you know what? He could walk off. I feel like it's very uncertain, but this is one thing for sure. The Emperor, he is going to show his inner dictator. He's really all over the place. I don't feel like this is about him being in control per se. I feel like he's just acting like, I want to take control of this debate. Sun card reverse. There's ego here. Lots and lots of ego. He's not going to answer one question. I don't think he's going to answer one question. There's just a lot of ego. And look at the instability of this energy. The Moon card reverse. This is my lunacy card. Like, this is more for me in intuition and things hidden and so forth. But when I pull it in reversed, because I do read reversals, this is like bat beep crazy. All right. He's nuts. He's going to show that he is crazy, lunatic, all over the place. And because of this uncertain energy, this I'm everywhere, he could potentially walk off. All right. He could potentially walk off. So that's what they're showing me at the end. So I am going to say there's a potential for walk off. And at the very least with these cards, he's going to be showing that he is a lunatic, an absolute lunatic. This is not going to go well for him at all. Do you see Trump fleeing to another country before his sentencing? All right, let's take a look. Will he flee before his sentencing? He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. I'm going to say no, though. I don't think he's actually going to do this. I don't think he's going to be able to do this. I have some sense that they know what his plan B is. Is it a plan B? I feel so. I do feel like this is something they're talking about, because I'm getting that sort of ego and bluster under the scenes. It's funny that it's the Sun card too, because when it's in reversal, it's like, this is, it's not out in the open completely, this plan, but it's if the judgment is going to go against him. I'm feeling that his team knows that this sentencing is not going to be good, because they knew it was like a plan B. This is like under the surface. They had that plan of, okay, maybe there's a way we can get him out of here if the sentencing goes wrong. But here's the thing. I'm getting the Star card here, and there's just some sense that there's a couple things I'm getting here. One, that his ego is so big and he likes the limelight so much. Part of him wants to stay for this election. Like he really wants to, in some ways, stay in that limelight. If he leaves, he's out of the limelight. So this is a draw for him to kind of fight it. Okay. So, but he's not thinking clearly, remember. He's thinking of a partnership. Okay. I'm going to suspect that his first name begins with the letter P. All right. So I think he's thinking of a partnership. And I'm also getting with the card that he might not, this is where I'm not getting successful, because this would be like, I'm ready to walk away, but it's like, I'm kind of stuck here. And it's funny, it has something to do with the partnership, because I feel like he's not getting he's not getting what he wants from this partnership, but he is making the plans, or there is a plan to flee, because this is my travel card. It would happen fast. So, I mean, if I had to put this all together, he has the plan, but it's like it's not coming to fruition. Maybe he's not getting what he needs. Maybe he's not getting the okay. And then you have the fact that he does it. He wants to stay and fight. He wants to stay in the limelight for some reason. So I'm going to say, even though I feel he's been thinking about it, or they have, I want to say there are more than one person involved here. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to be sentenced. All right, Carol, how does Amy Coney Barrett really feel about Alito and Thomas? That's an interesting question. Really feel about Alito and Thomas? I'm laughing because she doesn't like Alito, just so you know. I mean, they're very similar, I think, in her opinion. It's very interesting because we know that Barrett is also has her own personal beliefs that many of us watching the show are not aligned with. But she seems to not really get along with all the boys, so to speak. And when I get with Alito, just to give you some highlights here, I do get that everything for him is about money, because this is money that corrupts to me. And she's always trying to, or he's always trying to defend this sort of connection with money, or how everything seems to come back to that. She sees him as having, like she does say that he's smart, like from her perspective, but there's something here about it's my way or the highway is what I'm getting off of this. And she doesn't like that. She doesn't like the fact that he's not flexible in his thinking. And overall, she feels like he's making foolish decisions right now, foolish decisions. So I'm not really getting a strong affinity toward Alito. As far as Thomas, I'm getting, this is very strange. He's a lot more sensitive. She sees him as kind of like sensitive with his emotions. So maybe this means like, you know, it's easy. If you say something to him, he can get kind of emotional behind the scenes. That seems weird to me, but I'm getting some sensitivity, unless she feels like she can manipulate his emotions. Maybe that's what this is. I'm getting a sense that she's health. That's interesting. I get some concern there. He's in league with the devil, according to Barrett. Like there's something here where he's aligned with some really negative forces, and I'm getting corrupt money again. She's also feeling some losses coming up for him. Some losses. I don't really feel like she's completely aligned with either one of these people. And she seems to really be attuned to the forces that are connected to them that are corrupt. So I'll put it that way. All right. Can we have a reading on Eileen Cannon and what's up with her and energy around her and the document? All right. Eileen Cannon, what's coming up with her? What's coming up for Eileen? Eileen. Dr. Case. Not good right now. Underneath the situation, 10 of Swords. So she really feels under attack right now. She's not feeling stable or secure in her position. She's not in control. I'm also getting a real 45 vibe from this. So there is some sense. it might not be 45 specifically, but maybe the people who are in control of 45 in this whole mess, there's some sense she's feeling pressured and it's really overbearing to her. I'm getting that also around that card. She's trying to put up her defenses and trying to survive this period. She knows that Jack is coming after her hard. But this is very interesting. I'm getting, she's looking to something international here. So for entertainment purposes only, but there seems to be an international connection with what's influencing her right now. She's taking, they're hidden, okay? They're hidden. They're behind the scenes. They're in the shadows. And she's thinking about that coming up. And she's feeling, I'm not being protected. Like I'm all alone. It's funny because I'm getting from this card this time, like I'm alone and they're coming after me. I'm alone and they're coming after me. So this doc case is real. I just feel like I think the doc case is going to go forward. I'm not 100% sure when, but I feel like they're going to get her. She knows it. That 10 of Swords makes me feel like I'm not going to survive this, but she seems to be owned by something international. She's looking to them for help, but she's feeling like she's all alone. So I think they're going to kind of let her out to like leave her alone and just be like, okay, you know, we're done with her. She did the best she could, but they cut ties. It's very cruel. It's very cutthroat. And I think she knows that her time's up. So that's what I'm getting from her. All right. Is the Trump campaign covering up their knowledge that Trump is unwell? All right, let's take a look at the campaign itself. Are they covering it up? I feel they're trying. That's the sense that I'm getting here. But here's the problem. These two cards are the problem. I think this is Trump's unwell energy in that he's always in fighting mode. There's some sense that he's out of control. This is my Knight of Swords can sometimes be when things happen really fast or you don't think about them. And this card, the Page of Swords reverse, can sometimes be stuttering or not being able to get things out, something with the speech. It could be things coming out of the blue. It seems like they have no control about what comes out of his mouth. That's kind of what I'm getting, that they're trying to hide it, but these things that come out of his mouth, it's showing that he's not well. And they're having a hard time controlling that. I do get at the end here, it's almost like they want to just to release themselves from this. And this could be mentally limiting him or trying to, you know, hide some things. They want to just release it. And they're almost, it's like a new strategy. I know this sounds crazy, but it's like new strategy. Why don't we just let him go wild and we'll try to spin it or something like that? Because I think what they're saying here is they can't really protect him anymore. They can't, that card is like the card of the day. They can't really protect him anymore. And they're not really looking forward and seeing a happy celebration. Okay. It's like they read the writing on the wall. So the campaign right now, I think they're almost giving up. If they try to hide it, I don't feel like they can because this man, they have just no control over what comes out of their mouth. So I think right now they're just trying to spin it. That's what I'm getting. All right. Will the Republicans ever realize how bad Project 2025 really is for our democracy? Will they ever realize it? All right. When I asked this question, I have to be specific of how I asked it. When you said Republicans, I focused on people in America who feel they are Republican. Okay. And the reason I did that is because I've done so much work with 2025 with Irish Granny, and we've talked a lot about this. In the Republican Party, the actual Republicans, like who are in office, we get two camps. Those who want 2025, they don't see it as bad. They want complete control and power. That's their goal. So that's why it's here. And then you have people in the Republican Party who already know it's bad, right? They know, like, meaning like the Liz Cheneys and the people who don't want to go along on that path. They already know it's bad. So I tried to focus on the actual people. So I hope that was the intention in the question. And will they realize how bad it is? It's going to be a slow figuring that out. This is like a slow progress when I get this card. So slowly they will. And then they're going to realize that they might have to fight for some rights. So it's almost like as rights are, how do I want to say, taken away, or when they realize what 2025 is all about, slowly they start to realize, oh my goodness, I have to really uncover what this really means. I might have to fight for something different. This is a small portion of Republicans, but I feel like there will be some that wake up to this. They're realizing that they're financially, it's funny that Republicans have to be hit in their pocketbook. And there's going to be some media, I feel, around this, some messaging where they realize this is not going to be good for us. It's not going to be good for our businesses. We're going to be out in the cold if we go down this path. And then the outcome here, in answer to the question, it's funny, I'm getting the Fool card. Because even though, this is so bad, even though I just said everything I said, even though there are some people who are waking up to a realization, it's as if they're ready to walk off the cliff. I know that's crazy, but it's almost their destiny. They're stuck. They're stuck. They're saying they're stuck. What direction can we go in? We realize this too late. I'm stuck. We're ready to walk off the cliff. And the sense of a lack of completion, a lack of coming full circle with this to do something about it. I think what I'm feeling here is their awareness is so slow that once they get to the point of, wow, this could be really bad for us, for the party, it's too late. It's too late. The party's walking off the cliff. So unfortunately, I just feel like a lot of them are just not going to vote. And I've seen over and over that this is the end. This is the end of the Republican Party. And I feel like that's what this party's going right off the cliff. All right. What is the energy like in the U.S. in late January? Are we happy? That's an interesting question. I hope so too. So, what is the energy like? Right. When you look at the energy of an entire country, you get a lot of pros and cons. And that's what I'm getting here, because just because I see, I guess, for a big portion of the country, a happy outcome as Biden will be inaugurated. Like I definitely see this. At the same time, it doesn't erase the energy that was there. Like, it's not like, oh, that energy goes away and now all of MAGA is happy. And There are no bad things in America. It doesn't happen that way. And that's kind of how I feel January 2025 is. If I look at the energy in the country as a whole, there's still a lot of manipulation here. There are still a lot of corruption. There's still a lot of sleight of hand. You might see in the media still a lot about how this election was stolen, how, like, we saw this before and it's still there. Like, that energy is still there underneath the surface in January. But we have, the King of Swords here. Now, this is not Biden. Biden's the King of Cups. But what I'm getting in January 2025 that will make us a little happier is that justice is coming at the end of 2025. And it really could be that a lot of this sleight of hand is being put to the forefront for the courts. I'm wondering if this is when the document case really takes off, or there might be some people in Congress, but I do get a sense of a lot of that energy is going to be dealt with in the courts. And this is going to make some people really happy, and it's going to make other people who said they were MAGA or Republican or Trump supporters, they're not going to be happy. So we have a lot of shifting of energy. This is an interesting card because we're celebrating and we're not celebrating. We're celebrating because Biden's president. We're celebrating because we see justice. And then when we see what comes out, I get the word tarnished. Like, I'm happy, but God, the stuff that's coming out is so ugly. This is a reckoning month. This is like a month where I feel like we're reckoning with our American soul. And things are starting to come out. Truths are beginning at the end of 2025 to come out as facts. And people are both happy because we can start again and we can do some work, but at the same time, I almost feel embarrassed or humiliated, or how did we let this happen? So there's a lot of mixture of feelings. But for the most part, we're feeling like we're going to work on coming together. We're going to work on coming together. We have some work to do with finances and security for people financially at the end of July. I feel like people are financially going to be struggling in that month for whatever reason. And there's going to be a lot of focus on the economy, I think, at the end of July. And then I get this would be like, we're happy and we're comfortable. But again, this is like about faults and mistakes coming to the surface, mistakes we made. So I think overall, I'm getting a sense of Americans just as a whole dealing with the truth, feeling happy and relieved that we could work on things and make things better, but also being very sad and upset about what we allowed to happen as these truths come out. So it's going to be a very interesting time period. I'm looking forward to deep diving on that when we begin our 2025 series that I'll begin after Halloween. So we'll take a look at that, deep dive it. Thank you for that question. All right, will the immunity decision be released by SCOTUS on Friday to blunt the news of Trump's poor debate performance? All right, take a look. Is this coming up on Friday? I'm thinking yes. Let me just do a time clock just to make sure. But I'm kind of feeling, I think it might be Friday. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Even as I said that, I'm getting timing cards like, this is interesting. The time is now by the end of the day. Can it come out by Wednesday? Is this coming out before? This is interesting. Maybe I'm not good with this timing, but my cards are kind of making it feel like, yeah, I get the sense that they want to bring some sort of balance to a situation. I feel like I'm getting that international, looking to the future, trying to figure out where we can go from here. And then a sense of completion, like we have a verdict. So that's why I wanted to say, yeah, like in answer to this question, Friday. Then when I pulled my timing cards, I'm getting the time is now by the end of the day. So I don't know if I can answer that question succinctly. I'm going to go with the first cards because they're usually the most accurate. So I'll say yes to the Friday. But just keep in mind, I pulled this too. So I'm not really sure what's happening here with timing. I know timing can be tough, but I'm going to say, yeah, they're going to wait till Friday. All right. Does Melania flip on Trump in order to get her big payoff before she leaves him? Is Melania going to flip? Believe it or not, no. There's something bigger here with Melania. It's not as easy as flipping. She is concerned about losses, and she's also preparing to travel. Okay, she already knows she's moving ahead to victory. I feel like she already has a plan, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's leaving the country. All right, so this is already being planned. But she sees him as the devil, which is very interesting. I'm asking, will she flip? But the problem seems to be this Knight of Pentacles, a sense that she feels stuck with something. She feels stuck with the devil. Now, this is interesting because I feel like there's someone else involved here. I've always felt like this marriage was on purpose, that there is something about how they got married and how they met, that it was for a specific purpose. This is a marriage of convenience. It wasn't a marriage of love. And it's almost like she's answering to someone else. That's what I'm feeling. Like I'm stuck. Like I can't flip on him because I'm beholden to someone else. And she remains like strong. She's got her boundaries. She's got her plans. But I'm not feeling a flipping to get more. I feel like there's already a plan for her. Is like she's done her job and she's gonna go. I hate to say this. I always felt like she was that sort of spy / mail order bride. I kind of always felt that about her, and I feel like she's almost answering to someone else. So it's not going to be flipping like the kids and that sort of thing. I think she's getting out of Dodge. All right, can you please read on the RNC convention and who will be their nominee? All right. I'm going to look at the convention first, and then I'm going to put down cards on them. Let's see what we can get. Now, for those of you who have been watching my videos, I always felt like there might be a problem with Nikki Haley, that she wouldn't get the nomination. I got something in September where the rug was pulled out from under her. I can't say that won't happen because I don't know what's going to happen in September. But this is the first time I got a potential woman nominee. And I'm wondering if it's Nikki. Because this is what I'm getting in the convention. I'm getting like the swords are up, the sword of truth. We got to deal with that. So much energy is happening here. I'm feeling a little sense of panic in this convention. I feel like women are up in arms. Women in the Republican Party actually are up in arms. And there seems to be some sense that they want to go a more traditional route. Okay, like we can't go down this road. I think you're going to see a lot of chaos in this convention. I think you're going to see a split in this convention. I don't know what's happening, but my mind says Trump should be nominated. But here I'm getting, there's a lot of emotion here around the judgment, around him being judged. And they have to look at that. It's out in the open. Like they have to deal with that. And then I'm getting a woman when I asked about the nominee. I'm wondering if the sentencing is the key to this. We're going to have to really look at that sentencing because right now I see a lot of chaos, a lot of fighting, infighting, a lot of panic. And then I'm kind of getting that based on the sentencing or the judgment that they have to look at in this convention, that they might consider nominating Haley. That's the first time I ever got it. I don't know how confident I feel on that prediction, but that's what the cards are saying today. So maybe that's something we can look at and deep dive at another time as we get closer here. I know we're getting close to the convention. All right, is dark money that supports MAGA Trump? So wait a minute, let me see. Is dark money that supports MAGA Trump supporting MAGA, supporting candidates running as Democrats? So I don't know if do I understand this question, Cindy? Cindy, help me.
Okay, so I think the question is, are they supporting candidates that are saying are Democrats, but they're really not?
Oh, okay. So the dark money is supporting them, but they're not really Democrats. They're really MAGA Trump people.
Right, and they're running as Democrats.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Let's take a look. I want to say yes. And here's the King of Pentacles. This is the man with the money. So I want you to be very, I don't want to say concerned, but aware of particular male candidates that I'm getting in certain states that could actually be MAGA in disguise. I do get a sense of, with this Eight of Pentacles reverse, this could be, for me, darker money when it's in reversal. And with this card, the Hermit reverse, this is usually like very isolated or very behind the scenes for me. So I feel like they're in the shadows. So overall, I feel yes. You have to really work on discernment with your candidates. For some reason, I feel like there might be more male than female that are actually posing. We'll use that word. And for some reason, I'm getting a highlight of states here, and I don't know how that works. This just means like these are danger areas, like areas where you have to be really careful. I'm getting like that Tennessee area in that section. I'm getting Texas through Oklahoma. So I'm getting that area. I think that's all I'm getting right now. For some reason, those were highlighted as like there's like a circle. I see a circle around those areas. So that could be where some of this money is being pushed towards certain candidates to kind of pose. So I would say be very careful. Do your research, no matter where you are, because yes, I feel like there's dark money behind certain candidates, that they're not what they appear to be. All right. Do you see Biden replenishing the Social Security fund? Will he use the new 15% automatic tax on businesses for this replenishing? All right. This Social Security, replenishing the Social Security fund, I get it's going to take some time, like to really get it stable again, the way it should be. So is he going to be successful in his time that he has in his second term? I feel like he's not going to see this in his term, like to have it completely replenished, like the way I said that. There's a lot of people who are on the same page about the Social Security money. So there's going to be a lot of talk and a lot of deliberation on that. But there is going to be a raise, because I get this like, okay, this is day-to-day expenses sometimes, and I'm getting it in reversal. I see that there's a lot of people who are really struggling. We got this card for the July, and I said there were some things with the economy. And here is the abundance isn't there, right? Because we know where they're stealing, they're taking from the Social Security. So it's one of those things, he's trying to find the money to kind of give some people instant relief. So I'm assuming this is some sort of raise in Social Security. I think that's what he's going to do initially. And then it's like a longer journey to replenish the Social Security fund. I did ask if he will use the new 15% automatic tax for this purpose, but I feel like no, actually. I feel like that tax could be used for other things that I think initially are more important. And so, yeah, I'm getting a lot with news and women celebrating. So there's a lot of things with women here and that sort of feminine energy. This is some sense of, I can't work on this right now. So maybe this automatic tax is going to be used for other purposes initially. You know what they're showing me? They're showing me a Band-Aid on a wound. And I feel like when Biden gets in, there's going to be so much that he has to figure out, that I think a lot of those initial taxes, initial plans is just to kind of stop the bleeding. That's why they're showing me the Band-Aid initially. And then it might take a longer period of time for you to see stabilization of the Social Security fund. So hang in there. And I do feel like there might be an initial raise during that time, his second term, for Social Security. All right. Will the U.S. stop China from buying land to farm and food? To farm and food manufacturing, like Smithfield and Tyson. We stop China from buying land. And then the food factors. I'm going to put two separate cards because I feel like they might be two separate issues. All right. As far as China, I'm getting the 9 of Swords here, which are losses. And we're celebrating concerning this. And it's concerning looking to the future. You know, we're looking to the future. This makes me feel like they are going to stop China from buying land to farm in some way, because I feel like we're celebrating and they're seeing some kind of a loss here. So there might be something with China. This might be something in the works. I'm looking at food manufacturers like Smithfield and Tyson, and they are owned by the devil. Okay, there's a lot of corruption here, corrupt money in some of these manufacturers. There's like, this is a real bully dictating kind of energy here that's part of this. They're trying to protect themselves. This is going to be harder. This is going to be harder. I think eventually there's going to be some solution. So much emotion here too. But they also have so much abundance. I feel like abundance in money, abundance in whatever this is to fight that. It's going to be harder. Based on these cards, I almost feel like the manufacturers, it's going to be harder. I don't know if they're going to be successful in that, at least initially. But I feel like it's easier to stop China, and that we would see more success with China. So that's what I'm getting. Oh, the white buffalo. All right.
I'm back.
You are back. And I know we wanted to talk about this. So give a background on this for everybody.
Yes. So the white buffalo prophecy is a Native American prophecy that, sorry, apparently my dog wants to weigh in on it too. It's in regards to a white buffalo woman that came to the Native people, the Sioux and the Lakota. And I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Are you hearing that? Anyways, it helped them through a difficult time, this white buffalo woman. And they said when she left, she became a white buffalo and said that she would return in a difficult time, which on the 4th of June, a white buffalo was born in Yellowstone National Park. And there's pictures I'll share. Hang on one sec. And I thought it would be interesting for us to take a look at this. Hang on, let me get that picture. This adorable little baby that was born. Today is actually a ceremony of celebration. And so I thought it was the perfect time to read on the significance of the white buffalo being born, the white buffalo prophecy. And I actually took a look at this with some very talented friends the other day, and they got some interesting things on it, and I did too. So here's the cute little baby. And
so I'm laying out cards on that right now to see what I can pick up as far as the significance.
Yes.
I flipped one of the cards and they said, time out, time out. I don't know what that means. I'll have to put this together in a minute, but I just put time out. All right, let's take a look. I'm doing like a full spread on the white buffalo to kind of see if I can get some nuances here. This is my first time reading on it, so. Can I just say, the buffalo's a gift. Definitely a gift. Let me just get a couple more cards out here.
And
so it is significant.
Yes, I'll be right back. Let the dog go out and I'll be right back because I have some cards too.
All right, cool. Let's take a look. Okay. These cards go together for me. A gift and from heaven, from the stars, a gift from the stars, from spirit, is what I'm getting here. And then I'm getting, I want to like say these cards are all going together for me. There's a sense of a lack of, like I'm getting issues with the earth, okay, with the Empress reversed, a sense that we should be in tune with nature, and we're not in tune with nature. We have a lack of abundance, meaning we've used up our resources. We've done it in a way where we're not in a good cycle where resources can be renewed. We have not been good stewards for the future, is what I'm getting here. I'm getting that we're in poverty. And this is interesting because I do get, like, we focus, this is my money card upside down. We focus too much on materialism and materialist things. But in some ways, even though we might be rich, we might be poor. I get the sense of you haven't realized where your real riches lie, is what I'm getting. There has to be some change in awareness. This is where I got time out. This white buffalo is for you to stop, to reflect, right? And some of the ending cards here, there's too much with the ego. There's some sense that the universe has been out of order, like we're not connected. We need to reconnect, and we need to start thinking out of the box in order to solve some of our problems. You need to be explorers now, which is very interesting. You need to explore all of your options in order to, with this white buffalo symbolism, to help, I guess, get out of this situation, because you're in a situation of fire. You know, this is like a cleansing time, a time of retribution. I want to say retribution, a time of, it's like a cleansing. That's what I'm getting, like a cleansing by fire, which is very interesting because I'm seeing the wildfires right now in the West. So I'm wondering if these are signs and symbols. Based on where this white buffalo had come from, they're saying there are storms coming. All right, there are going to be weather changes. All of these seem to be related more to climate change. And then I get a very interesting energy, the white buffalo energy. They say, is this going to be a new beginning, the beginning, or not? Your choice. The white buffalo is here to ask you, what is it that you want? Do you want the fires to take over, or are you willing to think out of the box to help solve these problems? And yeah, I feel like even though that materialism thing was there, it's like our priorities have not been there, and we need to be better stewards of the earth. So I'm getting a lot of things concerning the earth. Yeah. So what did you guys get?
Well, the first card is the King of Swords, which this is a truth. This is a time to look at some truth here. But the most interesting card that I got, and I usually don't read, reversals are not my thing that I usually do, but I pulled the Temperance card, but it was in reverse. And I thought, oh, maybe I have my deck upside down. I heard, no, read it reverse, because it's very important, this part of the message. And the angel on this card is Archangel Gabriel, which is the angel of communication. And what we have been communicating, what our priorities have been, everything that modern society has out there as far as what success is, you know, profits before people, take from the land, don't give back. That's all good. Greed is good. Let's move forward with that prosperity and, you know, everything, the messaging that has been sent needs to be taken a look at. Is that really what we want? Is that really what we want to project as going forward, that our message is for our society? And it's been, this is a burden. It's a burden that the planet can't take anymore. It's a burden that as a people that are supposed to come together and move forward, the burden's too much. So will we choose to move forward in a better way, in a way that we support the planet and the people on it? And at the base of the deck, I got the devil, the toxicity, to move away from not only the toxins that we put into the planet, but the toxicity of the words and the mindset that we have out into the universe as far as me, mine. And how are we going to take a look at changing that narrative? And will we? And the big part of it that I got is, will we? And it was interesting because after I read this message, I thought, okay, so Cindy, what will you do today? I can talk about it, but what will I do today that will help change that narrative? And so I signed up to do some phone calls for a local candidate that supports, modifications to make things for climate change, and it supports freedoms and things that I feel is important. And everybody has their own things that they have that are important to them. But I thought, okay, what am I going to do today? Take an action, because I believe that the white buffalo is also calling us to some action. It's more than just the discussion about it. It is the action on it. And we're being asked, are you going to push it through now? Are you going to push this change? It's now up to you guys.
Yeah. That's what I had gotten at the end. It's kind of like, will you? Is this a new beginning or not? Like, it's in your hands. The reins are in your hands. You don't have to do this, but it probably won't be good. Very interesting. It's really a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And, thank you for that question. And I know we had talked about doing this
Wednesday Wonderings.
And I had prepared another question, but I kind of feel like that was our Wednesday Wondering. I'm actually feeling like they were like, this is what needed to be said today. So I am going to save the question that I had. I think I'm going to save that for 2 weeks from now to discuss, because I'm just feeling a sense of completion right now with that. Like, that was the message that needed to be said today. So do look up the white buffalo, kind of see what it means to you, do a little reflection on it. And I think really that's the tea. And that's the tea for this week. So I think we're going to bring this to a close. Remember, next week we won't be meeting, but I will be back the following week, Wednesdays at 11. Until then, I want you to go out, enjoy your 4th of July week, do something fun, reconnect with the earth, with your loved ones. And that's what's asked of us right now. And we'll just see what goes on this week with the crazy debates and the immunity. And there's going to be a lot of crazy town coming up. So take care of yourself. That's really, really important. Did you want to add anything else, Cindy?
I totally agree. It's time for us to fill our tanks back up so we have the energy to move through and do all those things that the white buffalo is asking us to do now, right?
Exactly. So, you know what? I think it's time to cue some music. Can we get our Irish on today?
Oh, I think so. I'm always up for that.
I need to connect a little bit to my Irish roots. We are going to go out with a little bit of music. She's got her glasses, so it's all good. Get dancing, stay happy, and keep your vibration high. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Thanks for joining us. Bye, everybody.